Hey everybody, welcome back to Cookie Gaming. Today we will be continuing our Skyrim playthrough. Last time we continued with the Stormcloak questline as we attempt to liberate Skyrim, and that's what we will be doing today as well. I'm not sure how much longer we have with the Stormcloaks, but we've done quite a few missions for them. It feels like we're pretty deep in, but I don't know how much time we have left. And at the beginning of the video, I want to ask you guys, because my guess would be maybe we have one or two or maybe three more episodes of this. After I finish with the Stormcloaks, what do you want to see me do immediately afterwards? I intend to do the main quest at some point, but what other quest lines or individual quests would you like me to get to? I'm going to read the comments, any popular comments or things that people comment a few times. I will make sure to prioritize, and y'all can give me ideas of what to do. Oh, okay, right into Fort Snowhawk, huh? If you don't remember, we're, conquering different regions of Skyrim, and as we go, taking over these Imperial-controlled forts, where we just run in, they throw like 40 Imperials at us, and we fight them. As I mentioned, obviously, I'm super familiar with all the different quest lines and quests in this game, but I can't necessarily think of them off the top of my head. So if you have something that you would like me to do, then leave it in the comments down below. That's bound to refresh my memory. I mean, there's a whole lot of individual quests, quest lines, a lot of cool items to be gotten. So if you would like to see that, then comment. And then whenever we finish this, like I said, I'm not exactly sure how much time we have left, but whenever we do finish this, we'll make sure to prioritize anything that people have asked for. Now, as we've talked about before, my sort of plans for the future are to finish up the main quest line. I think that's one of our top priorities. And then we have the rest of the DLCs to do. I think those will be fun. Particularly we have to go stop Mirak, and then also do the Dawnguard questline. And then apart from that, I mean, we could fight the Dragon Priest, go for Daedric items. I mean, there's a whole selection of stuff we could do. We also have the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild. Our character isn't really suited for either of those quest lines, but if enough people wanted to see them, I would be willing to do them. I don't intend to do them right now, because I think our character fits a lot better with the College of Winterhold and the Companions, but like I said, if you guys really wanted to see them, you can do them. I don't intend this to be a, 100% completion run. I've platinumed the game before, which, for those that don't know, on PlayStation, getting a platinum trophy means you've gotten all the other trophies in the game. So I played through everything this game has to offer. I do not intend to do that this time, but we can do a pretty complete playthrough if people want that. As we hack away at Imperial soldiers, with our fellow Stormcloaks and Lydia here fighting by our side. Even though we took over Whiterun, I don't know what the word is, administration? The court, that's the word. We took over the court that Lydia had come from, but her personal loyalty holds firm to us. Well, we can roleplay that. Realistically, it's just that in Skyrim, your companions don't really respond to what you do. I think if you commit acts of random violence, some of your companions will leave you, but aside from that, whatever you do, whatever questline you follow, your companions will stick with you. This is something that Fallout has been able to do a little bit better, where your companions might actually respond to whatever decisions you make. Skyrim doesn't really operate that way. Though, as we've covered, Skyrim is not necessarily too focused on a lot of those role-playing character aspects. Alright, heading back to Ulfric. I will tell you something that I watched recently was the Starfield showcase during the Xbox 2023 showcase or whatever it was. And for those that don't know, that is the showcase for Bethesda's new game, Starfield. They showed a whole lot of stuff that I'd be interested to talk about, but we got to speak with Ulfric first.
Tullius must be getting nervous. Taking Hell March, we're practically in his backyard now. As soon as we're able, we'll march on Solitude.
All right.
You've become a true hero of Skyrim. I number you among my kin. You shall now be known as Stormblade.
Hell yeah.
The love of the land and her people flows from your heart, even as death to her enemies flows from your hands. On behalf of the sons and daughters of Skyrim, on behalf of all that is righteous and true, take this token of our appreciation for your service.
Scaled armor. The first gift you gave to me was pretty good. It was like a magical sword. And then since then, everything you've given me has been total crap, Ulfric. I mean, I'm not trying to imply that the standards have slipped, but, come on, you could ramp up my rewards a little bit. I feel like I'm moving up in this corporate structure, and yet I'm getting less and less rewards. Let's talk about that. Anyway, Jarl Ulfric, what's next?
You have no time to glory in your accomplishments. We're gathering for our final assault on Solitude.
Oh, wow.
I need you there. Report to our camp in Hoffinger.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Stormcloaks are finding.
Stormcloak officer armor. I don't think I'm going to wear this. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to wear it because it's light armor, but it is a cool looking armor set.
Across the land.
And looks like we're even closer than I thought. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I knew that, we were pretty deep in, but looks like we're basically almost done. Sounds like 1 or 2 quests left before we liberate Skyrim. So yeah, we're almost done with this quest line. I'm excited. I kind of want to put this armor set back in my home because I'd rather not carry it around with me. So we'll do that first, and then we'll go to this quest. So yeah, the Starfield showcase. Bethesda showed us a whole lot about their upcoming game, a lot about the world, the role-playing, all that sort of stuff. I gotta say, I thought it was a pretty good showcase. They showed me a lot of stuff that I thought was pretty interesting, pretty intriguing. It looked like a pretty expansive world with a lot of exploration, which, it's definitely something that I'm looking for. So, but I still don't quite know what to feel. I mean, Bethesda, in my mind, they've lost quite a lot of credibility over the last couple of years, especially with releases like Fallout 76. They're not the respected developers that they once were. So I hold that in the back of my mind. So I'm cautious. The question is that cautiously optimistic or cautiously pessimistic? I don't know why I can't see the bear helm on this mannequin. That's kind of annoying. Let me see if I can fix that. And I would say, in the immediate aftermath of that showcase, basically one long trailer, I've been left cautiously optimistic. I liked a lot of the stuff I saw. I didn't think that the gameplay didn't seem revolutionary to me, and the sort of RPG elements of interacting with other characters, that didn't seem revolutionary to me either. But I thought that the world and the exploration looked pretty cool. Now, this might be a sort of classic Bethesda move of over-promising and then not delivering, and we should level up while we're here. Let's do Magicka. It very well could be that. Or maybe they deliver on what they've promised. Basically, like I said, I'm cautious, and I'm just going to wait and see. I mean, first off, y'all should never pre-order games. It's just a bad idea. That's how game developers manipulate you into buying crappy, unfinished games. So I never pre-order games anyway, but this time I'm gonna wait and see what reviewers say and what the community consensus is. Though I think it's probably only on Xbox anyway, right? I mean, they're like partnering with Xbox now, so... And, my PC's a piece of junk, so I don't think I'd be able to play it anyway, so I'm talking about, I'll wait a minute before... I don't think I'll get a chance to play it anyway. I'm sort of mindlessly scrolling through at the moment. Do I have anything I really want to put points into? That's the question. You know, nothing in restoration. You know, I'm always wanting to improve our enchanting and smithing. Nah. I don't really have anything I want to put perk points into. We're close to needing another perk point for heavy armor. Alright, we're based a little bit far away from the city. And then, I mean, I want to save perk points to put into enchanting and smithing, even though we have a bit before either of those need to be leveled up again. So, but I guess I'll save the perk points for now. Maybe we could start speccing some other skills. I don't know. I mean, I think the thing is that we have Conjuration as one of our main skills, but it's not actually that leveled up. Because when you play the type of character that I do, sort of a spell sword, in my experience at least, it can become pretty easy to lean on the martial side of things. You know, you're supposed to be part magic, part martial. That's us, you know. Partially we use our sword and our shield, and then partially we use our conjuration magic.
I don't have time for this foolishness. Now come along quietly, and we won't have to get...
What's going on here, fellas?
Brother, I think she's telling the truth.
I'm not going anywhere. Now back off before I do something drastic.
She doesn't have the scar.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's these two. They're looking for that woman
Made a
who
mistake.
works
Now move along.
at the inn in Whiterun. I forget her name, and I forget the name of the inn, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But we've been overly relying on the melee side of things, so our conjuration is not leveled up that much. So maybe we start speccing into something like destruction magic. I mean, we have a pretty strong base in magic, a fair amount of magicka. Feels like we could sort of expand into other branches. I don't know. Hello, Galmar.
If there was someone else...
Reporting in!
You're going to the fort. Meet the brothers preparing
Another
for the
fort?
attack. Then join them in wiping out the Imperials. Once you prevail, we will garrison the fort. What do you say? Can you do this?
Fort is as good as ours.
Good. You've got real
As I've said
fire in you.
every
I like
time.
that. Talos guide you.
Now, I have a lot of criticisms for every questline in Skyrim. I'm pretty partial to the Oblivion questlines, to be honest with you. I think they had some really interesting and sort of unique questlines that... I mean, Skyrim does have some good questlines. I think they sort of struggle to reach that level of uniqueness that Oblivion hits sometimes. But, you know, I have a lot of critiques. But the Civil War questline in particular, I mean, it really... I'm hearing chanting. Oh my goodness! Good thing I noticed the sound cue. I didn't know there was a word of power here. How random. Air Elemental Fury. Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah, I'll unlock it. Why not? We might as well use it at the fort. You know, when I saw what that shout was called, I was like, what on earth is that? I remember now. Makes you go real fast. But the Civil War questline in particular, I mean, it's not very good, is it? You get a couple of specific quests that aren't really connected. They're super disjointed. And then between those quests, you have to conquer, like, what was it, 3 or 4 different forts? Which is really quite boring. You just run in there, you know, you fight with like 30, 40 Imperials, then you're done. I mean, the only cool parts are when you take a city. So, and that only happens twice. Whiterun. That was fun. I mean, they could have done a lot more, but that was fun. And then Solitude, which we're going to get to shortly. So it seems like, at the very least, the other quest lines, like the Companions or the College of Winterhold, it's a little more put together. There's more of a connective tissue connecting all the different quests you do. Civil War questline seems to be a bit underbaked in my opinion. Alright, let's go.
Be careful.
You know, as we approach another fort, and literally, I think this part in particular, I mean, we just took a fort. And then also going back and forth to Galmar and Ulfric and getting these quests. We just took a fort. Then we travel back to Ulfric, then travel to Galmar, and what does he tell us to do? Get another fort. Like, come on, man. As you can see, we're a bit faster. This shout is more impressive when you get the other words to it, because then you really are, you're swinging your sword super fast. Also, I don't know how long it lasts. Oh, we've slowed down again. It is pretty fun, though. You know, augment your attack speed. I like that, I like that. Yeah, we've had a lot of game showcases lately, which I think is fun, you know? I mean, E3 is dead, so we gotta take what we have. And I still think it's fun having all these live-streamed game shows. We had the PlayStation one, the Xbox one, the PC gaming one, and Summer Games Fest. I guess, I don't even know. I don't know if there is a predominant game show these days. Maybe Summer Games Fest, but they're all sort of at an equal level. I think the PC gaming show is a little less popular, but the PlayStation show, the Xbox show, you know, Summer Games Fest, there is no single event that outshines the rest. Which, I mean, I think is fun. It's cool to see all these new games, but I guess it means you have to spend more time looking at a bunch of different live streams than maybe you used to. Though, you know, I say it's fun and I like seeing all the new games, and that's true, but how many of those new games will I actually play? Well, I'm not going to buy very many of them, because, you know, games be expensive. And then, how many new games will I choose to play instead of just playing an old game or playing a game that I've already played before? Probably not many. I gotta be honest. These days, I be replaying a lot of games. I've kind of reached that point where, you know, I settle down to chill and maybe play a game, and my immediate inclination is to go to something that I played many times for, I suppose, like, comfort and nostalgia. But, you know, I would like to... Oh, this is a fantastic Fusro Da opportunity. Come on. Yes! Well, they didn't go off the edge, but that was still pretty fun. I wish they'd gone off the edge. There's not much... not many crowd control options in Skyrim, unless you're talking about some pretty high-level magic. Not that it matters, because as with all these forts, we're fighting low-leveled Imperials. So I just stand here, tanking all their hits and swinging my sword. But yeah, I would like to play some more new games. Hopefully we can do that on this channel, you know what I mean? I mean, this is not a good example, because the first game I played was Skyrim. A game that I'm so intimately familiar with it is ridiculous. But, in the future, I don't plan on playing any further games that I've already played. At least not in the short term. I mean, there are some games like, you know, I love Fallout New Vegas. I would be willing to do a playthrough of that for the channel. But in the immediate term, I think I would want to play games that I haven't played or haven't played much of before. You know, as I've mentioned, and it's taking us a long time to get through Skyrim, and we've got, you know, a while to go, so I don't know when we're going to get to these, but sort of the two games at the top of my list of games I want to get to are Morrowind and Disco Elysium. Now, to be fair, those are both games that I played before, but when I say I played them before, I mean I put a couple of hours in, that's it. And so, Morrowind and Disco Elysium, those would be almost entirely new experiences for me.
I'm a true lord.
So I think that would be a fun thing to do on the channel.
Feel free to make requests.
Lizette, who are you?
There's nothing like a good song
Ah.
to lift the spirit in troubled
Bard.
times.
Got it. I was like, who on earth is this woman? Alright, I think we're moving into taking Solitude.
We're taking the city.
Yep.
Meet the brothers gathering for the attack. Fight
well
well
or die
or
well.
die well. Talos be with you.
Talos is always with me, brother. Brother. We're rebelling against the goddamn government, brother. Them fancy city Imperials ain't got nothing on us. Alright, let's go. We're taking Solitude. We are bringing this damn civil war to an end. And we're winning this victory for the Stormcloaks. I know a lot of you don't necessarily agree with that choice. A lot of you would prefer the Imperials. Bootlickers, I say. You bow to the authority of those above you. You fight back. No, I mean, it's not that serious. And many of you have made the arguments that Skyrim would, frankly, be better if you side with the Imperials. I'm not making a serious argument. Like I said, I've played both sides for the years and years I've played this game. I just decided to go with the Stormcloaks on this one, because that is what I often go with. And that dates back to really the first time I played this game as an adolescent child of, God, I don't know, 13, 14 years old or something. Probably closer to 13. And I went with the Stormcloaks. My tiny brain was too small to understand the geopolitical situation. Oh, goodness. This place is burning. Hey, there's our fellow Stormcloaks. Oh, my goodness. What was that? I suppose they're launching projectiles?
This is it,
That
man.
looked like a
It's time
meteor.
to make this city ours.
Oh, it's Ulfric. Let's listen.
Come to this moment carried by the sacrifices and courage of our fellows. Those who have fallen. Those still bearing the shields to our right.
Woo! Yeah!
We will know the fullness of our determination, the true depth of our anger, and the exalted righteousness of our cause. The gods are watching. The spirits of our ancestors are stirring. And men, under suns yet to dawn, will be transformed by what we do here today.
The accent. Real strong.
Darkness. For sovereign God awaits those who die with weapons in their hands and courage in their hearts.
Yes.
To cut the head off the Legion itself. And in that moment, the gods will look down and see Skyrim as she was meant to be. Full of Nords who are mighty, powerful, and free.
Nords, right.
Ready now, everyone,
Right.
with me for the sons and daughters of Skyrim.
Yeah! Woo! Hell yeah! Let's go! I say, as a Breton. You know, if we could just remove the more nationalistic, or not even nationalistic, I guess the nativist element. Skyrim for the Nords. Skyrim for the native residents, maybe? Skyrim for those who live here and contribute to the economy? That's what I am as a Breton. Alright, Galmar's going straight in. Let's do this! I'm sorry, these Imperials do not stand a chance. Let me equip that new shout that I just got. Oh, that was Ulfric shouting! I was like, did I just hear a shout? Yeah, that was Ulfric. I still think, God, there's so much more they could have done with the Civil War, I gotta be honest. I think it's so cool that Ulfric uses the power of the voice. You know, it's like, we're the Dragonborn, but he still utilizes this power for his own ends. It's fascinating stuff, in my opinion. Alright, I'm trying to... Should we kill everybody here, or should we keep moving forward, or what's the strategy, Ulfric? I think he's using the disarming shout. I don't have the words memorized necessarily. I think I might be going the wrong way. It's already getting a little quiet in here. Or maybe not. Nope, I was going the right way. Alright, well, we'll get this last guy. Brutal. Jesus. Ulfric's going on a damn rampage out there. Let's catch up and help him. God, I wish he had more stamina right now. Running through the... You know, I think Whiterun's a little bit better designed for the siege, the battle. And I don't believe that was intentional. I think it's because Whiterun is a little more contained, you know what I mean? A little more linear. Skyrim tends to do a bit better with those constraints. Versus Solitude, there's a bit more open space. And so, they still railroad you, but it's a little less convincing, I guess I would say. Because when you're running through the streets of Whiterun, I mean, you're just running through the streets of Whiterun. You know, they are genuinely that closed off. And of course you run into the issue of Whiterun is meant to be a much bigger city than it actually is. You know, in-game it's like a small town, but it's supposed to be a lot more important than that. Which all Skyrim cities, they all run into that issue. You know, they're not quite the scale that they should be. And, I mean, to be fair, more than anything, that's an issue with the sort of tech of the time. Of course, other RPGs had done cities of a bigger scale, but Skyrim was going for, at the time, these advanced graphics and mechanics and all that sort of stuff, so it did its best, you know? Alright, come on now. I mean, honestly, with me here, of course they couldn't lose, but even just the regular Stormcloak soldiers are doing a great job. What are you doing, buddy? Knocked him over. Although that might not have been the best move. There we go. Sorry, bud. Alright, are we ready? Y'all seem to be ready. I believe, unlike in Whiterun, we went up to the main castle, the keep, confronted the Jarl. Here, I think it's General Tullius whom we have to confront. He is the main threat here. I mean, Ulfric already murdered the High King. And the wife of the, dead High King is ruling here, but I guess the real threat is the Imperial authority, which stems from General Tullius. Whoops. Forgot I had Foos equipped. There we go. Let me... Been enjoying our Elemental Fury spell. This, sort of famously, is where... to unequip that other quest. It's giving me 2 quest markers. That's where the Imperial wedding is, or it's like an important wedding amongst the royal family. During the Dark Brotherhood questline, which, we'll see that if we end up doing that questline. No promises. Come on, y'all don't stand a chance. Our Stormcloaks are whooping your asses, Imperials. Don't you forget it. God, they're spawning from everywhere. Look at that. I mean, you're taking a lot of hits when you get a heavy armor increase. It's like, okay, I'm getting battered in here. But, the best way to improve your heavy armor, well, the best way is that trick I showed you guys earlier, where, holy shit, Ulfric, where you go to the throat of the world and you stand in the wind. But, aside from that, the best way is not facing, say, one enemy that hits hard. It's a bunch of these little enemies who, they don't hit hard, but they'll hit you 100 different times. That, or at least that seems to me the best way to improve your heavy armor. I don't have evidence for that. Okay, I think they're endlessly spawning, so let's head in here and get the job done. I'm not dealing with your endlessly spawning Imperial soldiers, Tullius. Us Stormcloaks only have a finite number of soldiers. And of course, once we're done, we can... Oh.
Secure the door.
Already done.
Alright, we have some chatting to do first, I think.
Ulfric, stop.
Stop what? Taking Skyrim back from those who leave her to rot.
You're wrong, Ulfric. We need the Empire. Without it, Skyrim will assuredly fall to the Dominion.
You were there with us. You saw it. The day the Empire signed that damn treaty was the day the Empire died.
You're a damn fool.
Stand aside, woman. We've come for the General.
He has given up. But I...
Damn! Come on, Tullius.
Reka, go. You're free to leave.
I'm also free to stay and fight
Wow.
for what I believe
Personal
in.
relationships bound up in
You're
this.
also free to die.
This is what you wanted? Shield brothers and sisters killing each other? Families torn apart? This is the
Damn it,
Skyrim
woman,
you
stand
wanted?
aside.
That's not the Skyrim I wanted.
Damn, she fighting.
Rika, you don't have to do this.
We're gonna murder you.
You've left me no choice. Talos, preserve us.
What was that?
They really do not enforce the Talos worshipping ban
That it?
in Skyrim, because there have been so many people openly, including those serving the Imperials, who, oh god, who just openly worship Talos or speak to his name.
Enough.
This is it for you.
She really didn't have to die there.
Any last words before I send you to oblivion?
You realize this is exactly what they wanted.
What who wanted?
The Thalmor. They stirred up trouble here. Forced us to divert needed resources and throw away
Yeah, well,
good
thanks for telling us
soldiers
now,
as well.
Tullius.
It's a little more than a rebellion, don't you think?
Ah,
We aren't the bad guys, you know.
Maybe not, but you certainly are the good guy.
Fair points.
Perhaps you're right. But then what does that make you?
You just said it yourself.
it makes us right.
And if I surrender?
The Empire I remember never surrendered.
That empire is dead. And so are you.
Brutal.
So be it.
Just kill him and let's be done with it already.
Come, Galmar. Where's your sense of the dramatic moment?
By the gods. If it's a good ending to some damn story you're after, perhaps the Dragonborn should be the one to do it.
Good
Finally, a mention of the fact that I'm Dragonborn.
Well, Dragonborn, what do you say? Do you want the honor?
You know, is anyone really the good guys or bad guys? Pretty sure it's all relative. I mean, I would gladly kill him, but frankly, I think it's better done by you. I think Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak, that honor belongs to you, my friend.
As you wish. This moment, we three will be immortalized in song. We've driven the Imperials out of Whiterun. This is good. Very good. We now control the center. It's a powerful position.
During the
one
speech.
I aimed
Good. It's
Keep your
done.
brother, and he'll keep, well, I suppose some kind of speech is in order.
I'll go gather the men in the courtyard.
And Elisif?
Don't you worry about her. I've sent my best men to round her up.
Stormblade, I want you to have my sword.
Ooh.
A token of my appreciation.
Thank you.
Now then, the men will expect a speech. Will you stand by my side? I wish to honor you, Dragonborn, and the truest of Stormcloaks.
Hell yeah. Maybe you should leave me out. I don't know why I would say that. Yeah, of course, my lord.
Very good. Come.
My lord.
Await us.
It's crazy. I'm taking that. Crazy that I am not a Nord. And yet I played this role. It's also like right at the end we get all this stuff about me being the truest of Stormcloaks and the Dragonborn and the Dragonborn's contribution to the cause.
I present to you.
Just pause for a quick second. That was basically not mentioned during this whole questline. Was there any other mention of us being Dragonborn throughout this entire questline? I don't think there was. There was talk about our contribution to the movement, but just right at the end we get this, ooh, Dragonborn, there you go. It's like, you know, you wish that had been a little better integrated. I got more to say about this, but we'll let Ulfric give his speech.
Ulfric Stormcloak, hero of the people, liberator, and High King of Skyrim.
New High King. You mean my blades armor?
I am indeed Ulfric Stormcloak.
Bit of irony
And
there.
at my side, the man known as Stormblade.
Yes.
The world knows as the Dragonborn.
That's me.
And indeed, there are many that call us heroes. But it is all of you who are the true heroes. It was you who fought a dying empire, who sunk its claws into our land, trying to drag us down with it. It was you
Lydia.
who fought the Thalmor.
Come stand by my side, Lydia. You deserve to be here.
And our heritage. It was you who fought your kin, who didn't understand our cause, who weren't willing to pay the price for our freedom. But more than that, it was you who fought for Skyrim, for our right to fight our own battles, to return to our glory and traditions, to determine our own future.
Woo! Woo!
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And it is for these reasons that I cannot accept the mantle of High King.
The hell?
Not until the moot declares that title should adorn my shoulders.
Space
will I
tradition
accept.
appreciator, Ulfric?
What about Jarl Elisif?
Yes, what about the Lady Alicent?
Uh-oh.
Will she put aside her personal hatred for me and her misplaced love for the Emperor and his coin so that the suffering of our people will end?
Oh, there she
Will
is.
she acknowledge that it is we Nords who will
Are you
determine
facing
Skyrim's
Galmar?
future? Will she swear fealty to me?
She's over there.
So all may know that we are at peace and a new day has dawned.
I do.
Then it is settled. The Jarl will continue to rule Solitude.
Oh, she keeps her position. How about that?
Armies here to ward off Imperial attempts to reclaim the city. And in due time, the Moot will meet and settle the claim to High King once and for all. There is much to do, and I need every able-bodied man and woman committed to rebuilding Skyrim. A great darkness is growing.
True.
And soon we will be called to fight it on these shores or abroad. The Old Mary Dominion may have defeated the Empire, but it has not defeated Skyrim!
Hell yeah, brother.
How'd I do?
Not so bad.
Yeah, good speech.
Nice touch about the High King.
Thank you. I thought so too.
It's funny, not to keep pausing, that Galmar is just like, get it done. You know, I don't care about anything really apart from getting the job done. Whereas Ulfric, as he said, you know, he's got a flair for the dramatic, a flair for the moment. Galmar just says, meh, nice touch about the High King. That's all he sees it as. Whereas Ulfric is both sort of embracing the traditions of Skyrim, but also putting on a performance for the crowd. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's good at doing it.
Foregone conclusion, you know.
Right.
Oh, I know.
The Imperials are not going to leave us alone. They still have camps in the hills. They'll continue to strike out at us whenever and wherever they can.
I'm not afraid of the remnants of the Legion. In time, they'll all give up and go home. What I fear is that Thalmor will see our victory here and turn greater attention.
Far
to our
bigger
shores.
danger is Thalmor.
We must be prepared to face them.
Aye.
And of course, we couldn't have done it without you.
Me?
May the gods preserve you.
May the gods preserve us all.
Come, Galmar. We've still much work to do.
The measure of a man is taken at the moment of his death. And know this for truth. The ghosts of many heroes walk among us.
Alright. I think we are done.
Sure showed that.
How about that?
Sure showed that.
Yep, that's us. That is us done with the Civil War questline. How about that? Alright, let's get some distance from this so the battle music can stop playing. And so that we can discuss the Civil War questline a little bit. Let me just move out of the city. So, interesting questline, right? Like I said, I just think the quests are a little disjointed. It could have been put together a lot better. The content of the questline, I think, is some interesting stuff. Once again, I think there's a lot of potential that wasn't necessarily fulfilled. I think there's a really interesting story here about Stormcloaks fighting for their freedom. Is there still fighting going on out here? What are you two doing? You run into Ulfric Stormcloak and the top general of the Stormcloaks fighting against a random city guard. If I get involved, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a bounty. Alright, let me really get out of here. I think I will actually get a bounty if I get involved. Let's head back to Whiterun. Let's head back to Whiterun. But an interesting story. You know, the Stormcloaks fighting for their freedom, fighting to liberate Skyrim, fighting for their religious freedom against what they see as an oppressive empire. But if you look at the Empire side of things, first off, it's pretty clear to me that they don't enforce a lot of the more oppressive policy that much. Now, that doesn't necessarily make it good, but that's something worth remembering. And from the perspective of the Empire, they're basically doing what they can. They feel like they don't have much of a choice, and that they're the ones strengthening Skyrim, right? Of course, the Stormcloaks see it in a different way. Now, I think, like I said, a lot of the arguments you guys have made about the whole geopolitical situation, I think you're probably right that siding with the Imperials would objectively put Skyrim in a better spot. But of course, that ain't really how politics works. It's driven by many things, sometimes rational thought, oftentimes emotion, prejudices, that sort of thing. And that's certainly what the Civil War in Skyrim was driven by. Not to mention that, you know, it doesn't take 100% of your population in order to prosecute a civil war. In fact, it doesn't even take 50%. I mean, if we look at, say, the American Revolution, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's often, you know, there's like a 1/3 rule. They often say that, well, a third of people were patriots, a third of people were loyalists, and a third of people were neutral. But I believe the neutral section was even bigger. It's really not a high percentage of devoted people needed in order to do something like this. And we can see that Skyrim is pretty split. Split between those who would support the Stormcloaks, those who would support the Imperials, those who want to stay out of it, and those who are somewhere in between. I mean, there's a lot of nuance there. We saw a lot of, not necessarily Imperials, but maybe those who would side with the Imperials, those who would support the Imperials, who still believed in Talos, still worshipped Talos. That's why I say that clearly wasn't enforced very well. And so, yeah, it's an interesting picture. And I think for a lot of people, it's sort of more interesting to think about it, read about it, and talk about it than it is to experience it in-game. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's so much more they could have explored. I think about, you know, something like a Fallout New Vegas and how they explore the different factions and the different conflicts in that game. What a fantastic job they do, really getting you immersed, integrated, showing you the complexities, and I sort of wish that, you know, they had done something a little more similar to that here. As with most things in Skyrim, and, you know, I always say I don't want to be too overly critical, so remember the context within which this game was produced, but as with most things, I think there's a lot of potential, and some of that potential is fulfilled. It still ends up being a good experience, but, you know, there's so much more they could have done. And that's sort of how I feel about this game as a whole. But anyway, I think we're going to end this episode right about here. This feels like a pretty appropriate cutoff point, you know what I mean? I think next time, my immediate plan is to continue with the main story, but if you have any other quest lines you think that I should start with, like I said at the beginning of this video, leave them down below. I'll be reading all your comments. So yeah, I had a good time with this episode. We'll turn to our character. I had a good time with this one. I hope you guys did. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. I hope you guys are having a good day today, and I will see you all again next time.